Right then, today it is time to fit a Xenon bulb in this car, and people say you should replace them in pairs. I think that's probably true, but I'm going to take the opportunity to see how true that is. These have been in here basically just under, I think, 2 years. One of them's gone. I got them, the replacements are the same as what I bought from the same place, SMD Automotive. People are starting to talk now about them lasting 3 years as the kind of shelf life of a Xenon, because they tend to lose their brightness after that. But anyway, I don't have any choice. I have noticed actually that, you know, you get used to things when you do some sort of upgrade. You kind of get used to it. But it did seem that possibly they weren't as bright as they were, but they were still better than what was in the car when I got them, which were some regular sort of Xenons that were who knows how old. And it's weird because I mentioned on a forum the other week how mine looked like, because I've got the adaptive headlights that move with the steering, you know, the actual headlights, not the fog lights, the actual headlights move. You know, you get these cars now that, you know, the left-hand fog light will come on when you do a left and etc. But no, these actually a bit like the old Citroen SM, the Maserati Citroen from the 70s, if anyone remembers that. Great car. But the lights turn like that. And when I got these bulbs done, I went over the local golf course. It's got a, you know, road going through the middle of it, and at night, and it was like having searchlights. And I mentioned this in this comment, and then like a couple of days later, one of the bulbs gone. So anyway, it's an opportunity to get them replaced. I've paid $19.99 for them. I'll put a link to the description because I do like SMD. Sam there is a cool guy, and I've bought a few things from there. Some good LEDs for nice crisp white angel eyes. There's other videos I've done on that. Got some interior upgrade light bulbs where there was a few blue LEDs in this car when I got it, which are kind of nice, but when you go and put a map reading light on, you know, to have like a mood rather than some light is, you know, it's not really what you want. So I replaced some of those with these you know, very white, bright interior lights. The back ones I didn't do because this car's got like a chocolatey brown sort of interior, and I quite like the nicotine yellow of the old traditional interior light bulbs. They just made the car look, I don't know, in my eyes better, whereas the brutal crisp white light wasn't really what I wanted in every sort of spot. So I changed most of them, but not all of them. But anyway, so SMD, yeah, they've got some good stuff. They've also got other stuff which I'll be doing to this car soon as well. Other things they sell. There's some, well, I'll get into that. I mean, you'll go check them out yourself. I think it's smdautomotive.co.uk, I think it is. Might be smd-automotive.co.uk. Doesn't really matter, does it? Because I can check and I put it in the description. So anyway, this is one of their bulbs, but this is me fitting it. And I'm going to give it a go. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. Lots of people say different things about fitting them. Obviously, same old thing as like same with a halogen. Don't be touching them because the grease from your fingers, you know, gets heated up and causes premature end of life on the bulbs, or is alleged to. But the other thing was, I've got daytime running lights on this, and I've got automatic lights on this. My lights are in the off position. The key is not even in the ignition. I'm not going to be cocky, but I just don't want to disconnect the battery. My advice should be, I'm going to say it publicly, that you should. I'm not sure how many people actually do that, but anyway, it's a tight squeeze in there. My fingers are going to be fumbling around trying to get it done, but yeah, anyway, that's my thing. Would be probably, I would have to say, yeah, disconnect the battery, belt and braces as the saying goes. And that's about it. It's now down to me to get cracking on it. Starts off with a little bit of bulbs. See the carbon there? That's in another video. It's just they're just stickers, and they've been fitted inexpertly. Didn't use a hot air gun or anything really. I just put them on because I wanted to know what this car would look like with it, because, you know, it's carbon black, which is usually blue, and although it's an M Sport, it didn't have the shadow line or gloss black or whatever you want to call it surrounds. It had a brushed aluminium. Then it had chocolate interior with like a sort of mid-brown walnutty looking sort of wood inserts, black top of dash, brown bottom, and then obviously there's a aluminium strip underneath the wood inserts. There's like a lot of different colours going on, and also brown with black, or brown with dark blue. But so toning it down, I think has really helped. I've got used to it, and I actually do really like it. So on one of my little wish lists would be perhaps to have it properly, have the carbon effect, you know, put in there rather than a wrap or a sticker. But we'll see. That's a 911, by the way. Kind of to a penny around here. Not that I have one, but anyway. Normally it's a Carrera 4S with a doctor driving it, if you know what I mean. But which is cool. To be honest with you, all you Porsche enthusiasts out there, I'm sorry, but that's the one I would go for. You know, Tiptronic 4S, and drive it every day because it's my only car, sort of thing. But as it happens, this is my only car, and I do drive it every day. It probably gets about the same to the gallon as the Porsche, maybe even less. But anyway, here I am wandering off again. But here's the bulbs. I've got to pop the bonnet, put the tripod on. It's meant to rain shortly. In fact, it's meant to be raining now. There's that. I'll flip the camera around and get set up and show a few things, and then crack on and get it done. Annoying thing, it's just a bulb change. It should be seconds, do you know what I mean? Not always. It is a little bit tight in there, and this is the tighter of the two. The inner ones are awkward but doable. I've got you know, fitting the LEDs in another video. I'll put a link in the description on that. But the outer ones are a bit more tucked in under the sort of wheel arch linings. Apparently you can get them in there yourself in there that way, but hopefully that won't be necessary. I didn't fit them last time. We just got somebody else to do them. I didn't even look. I just heard that they were difficult. I'm like, all right, fine, you do them. But anyway, we'll see. Shouldn't be hopefully too bad. And then I don't know, blah blah blah. All right, let's get on to it. Yep. Okay, well, it's that one. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. It's the near side front if you're in the UK. It's basically the, you know, the passenger side. Looking at a couple of things here. It's the passenger side one. So yeah. Something on that. Link in the description. Something on that. Coming to a cinema near you. These are the slightly easier to get to ones. But so that's what I've got to get in there. Here we go. Okay, so I think I might take my watch off actually, just to stop myself from scratching that up. Just getting a little feel around in there to see what I've got. So you'll see when I take it off. I'm using my imagination. It has, I'll show you when I take it off actually. It has a clip on the top, which you just push down. Has these two lugs in the bottom, so when you're taking it off, push down the clip, pull it out, lift it up. When you put it back in, put the lugs in first, push it forward, it should clip into place. If that was the end of the job, we'd all be happy. But it's not, because I'll get just a quick little look at these. The connectors go at the bottom, apparently. It's so delicate, really. To be honest with you, there's only two reasons why I'm doing this. One, because it's just, you know, just want it done and I want to do it and whatever. Second one is because I want to show you guys how to do it. But really and truthfully, I'm like, someone charged me a tenner for this. Absolutely, there you go, it's a tenner. And I could have recorded it, couldn't I? Apparently, there's a spring clip. I'm trying to feel for it. Yeah. It seems that it's sprung from the top, not the bottom. I mean, I don't have a light. Torch. What happened to the good old-fashioned BMW torch, eh? I'm gonna use the light on my phone, see if I can see in there, because putting something back in is usually harder than taking it out, especially when you didn't see how you got it out. So I'm gonna have a look. I don't think I really want to show you. But it's really hard to film me now. I'm really disappointed that I can't actually show you. Can't get a light in there and a camera. That's the one that's going in there, hopefully. Okay. When I look at it without the light, I don't want to do it because I can't see in there well enough. You know, you can always feel around when you're taking something out, but when you're putting it back in, it's really hard to know what you're trying to do, especially when you're trying not to break the bulb or touch the bulb. I think one piece of advice I would give is be confident about it and have a torch. There you go, you can have that bit of advice. Let me have another look again. It's hard to film it and see it. I'm going to use my phone as a torch, unfortunately. Guess what? I don't think I'm going to do it. I just don't. I can't see myself doing a good job of this. And put in there because I just can't. Yeah, I don't see myself doing a good job of it. That's all I can say. Putting the cover back on. I think what I will say is that hold on. Put that on or not? There you go. See, that's the sort of thing, I could more or less visualize what I was trying to do there. Just about, actually. If that wasn't working, I wouldn't have had a plan B. But with these things, let me see if I can get a little bit of a better thing. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it somewhere now that I hope is open. They might be closed, in which case I'll go tomorrow. But these things, it's going to go in like that, right? Look, you've got this wand here. You're not really supposed to be touching anything because it can just reduce the service life of the bulb. But that's got to go in. The clips have got to go on. The newer ones, they twist about 1/8 of a turn. The LCI, you know, from 2000, I suppose, in 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever it was, 10. So I've got to get my hand down in there, put that in there, whatever, get it clipped in, get the cable, put the clip, you know, plug it in, put the back on again. My money's not on me for that one. Not these days. Amazing. I'm just going to take them to the guys who did my they've done a couple of bits and pieces for me, and hopefully they're still open right now. They normally let you just rock up for something like this. Only take them a few seconds to do, I suppose. The thing is, my car's going in for the airbag recall, and anything that, you know, like, I don't want it going in like that because it's just, these cars, you know, 2009 X5, it hasn't been in a main dealer for a while. A lot of main dealers probably wouldn't have seen an E70 for a long time. So yeah, I'm just wondering now, if I get them to fit it, then I won't be able to tell between the two, because I was going to test if, you know, the theory of whether you should fit them in pairs. Anyway, I think I'm going to go down there before they close. I think they close early. They may have already closed. What's the time now? I might just catch them, which would be quite handy. I might get them to just do one, and I'll see how I get on with it, and then go back and get them to do the other. I don't know. First things first is get down there, and who knows, maybe I will do it, but I can just see something going wrong. Maybe one day a week there might be all the stars and the moon line up. It's annoying because I should just do it, but I think it's gonna. Sometimes you need to approach a job, walk away, approach a job, walk away. And usually they're a little bit more complex sounding than this. But anyway, we'll see. Let's take it down the road, see what happens. Well, technically speaking, this is a private road, so not officially designated, adopted, or whatever part of the highway. I think the thing is as well is that when you're doing something, when you can't see it, you kind of use your imagination, don't you? You just, you know, you're feeling around and you're sort of thinking, having looked at it, you know, what's there, you know. And that obviously helps, but of course I want to record it, but it doesn't seem that anybody can get a decent recording of it. But you know, if these guys are here, I might even, if they turn around, I don't know, if they say, you know, replacing him. Oh, there's a fox! Wow, beautiful looking fox. Actually, that one looked like a immaculate. He's living the high life. He looked like he was in a tuxedo. Normally, you get them there a bit scraggly, look like someone's chewed on them or something. But that one looked pretty pristine. But we'll see. I might get them to fit them both. That's what I was trying to say. But I think now, anyway, I'm gonna pay attention to my driving. I noticed when I put with a bulb out, when I go onto the auto lights, they don't seem to come on as soon as they normally would. I think that's probably nonsense. It's probably just gotten in my head like these things do, but it's a little bit like getting a bit moody in the sky right now. The sun's going down in an hour anyway, but it's also, you know, some dark sort of storm clouds. And my lights, they do come on, they did yesterday, but I don't normally look at the dash and see it dark. It's normally either got the sun on it or the lights are on. Maybe it's just since the daylight saving thing or whatever, you know, the clock's changed and now seems that more of the day is spent in the dark already. Anyway, we'll see. It's just, they've come on now. So, but it's, yeah, whatever. I should probably just shut up really, shouldn't I? Yeah. I'm just about there. And I will see. I have the feeling they're not there. But apparently my light's not working. Let's see what they say. No, they are. I think maybe they're just packing away now. Oh, there's a couple of cars around. That's okay. They know me. Oh, it's him again. Let me. You're right. Can you fit a bulb for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
I've got the bulbs, the Xenon, in here. There were mixed feelings about me recording them last time, so I'll sign off for a sec, see what I can record. Oh, dearie me. Well, okay, so I'm talking loud because I know I need to when I record. For those who know your E70s, my phone is just sitting where the screen is. Got to get a GoPro. Although why bother if I'm not filming stuff? So basically, they've done it. Well, they've done one of them. He did struggle with it. He even said at one point, come back tomorrow. And I just sort of, I didn't say no, I didn't say yes. I just sort of let that idea sort of go away, and who knows where that went. It just sort of vaporized in the ether. And you know, I felt that he was gonna just have to raise his, a bit like I was gonna have to just raise his, confront or whatever you want to call it, And anyway, he did, and he charged me a tenner. Did just one of them. I think I got charged a tenner each side last time as well. And he said, you don't need to replace in pairs. And I know these guys are always going to say things like that because they're very budget conscious, you know, which is kind of nice. It's a bit like the opposite of a main dealer that's the other way around. They get very ambitious with your money. Anyway, I didn't even ask him beforehand what he was going to charge. So I just thought, well, I'll just whatever. And I think most or all of them are from, I'm just looking at the reflection in the car in front. Doesn't look that bright. We'll see tonight. Looks, maybe it's just the way the car is in front. Anyway, I'll have a look in a minute. But yeah, anyway, they're from Afghanistan, and I think most of them or all of them. And one of the guys there asked me what I thought about the world at large at the moment, which I thought, well, there's a conversation you know might be better off not getting into. But anyways, it was interesting. They're nice guys. They're good guys. I trust them. They're as I say, they're very budget conscious. They'll look after you. And the fact you can just rock up and sort of kind of elbow your way in to get something done. I mean, I did all right. This was just a bulb, but you know, I turned up with a throttle body. Yeah, I mean, turn up to a garage when they're stacked with cars and everyone's got their head under the bonnet. Turn up with a throttle body and get them to fit it for you, like there and then on the spot while you stand around filming them. So they're good guys, and it would be nice if my car didn't spring. Yeah, it's only a bulb, but spring any more sort of surprises for the time being, at least. So watch what I wish for, but you know, I kind of let me put it this way, I'm a little bit more nervous about taking this thing to the main dealer in a few days' time. Then I was taking them to those guys, and anyway, so it's done. One of them's done. I'm looking at the reflection in the back of the car in front, and it doesn't look like it's as bright as the last one, but anyway, it's probably just because of the dirt or whatever that's on that car. When it gets darker, I will be able to see, or maybe, you know, the shop front or something like that. But once again, I'm actually glad I didn't do it. I mean, it took him a lot of fiddling around. He actually took longer to put the cap on afterwards than I did, but it was in the same ballpark. But I also noticed as well that I hadn't removed the key and put the lights into off. So I don't really know where this guy is going or what he's trying to do. Okay, fine. Alright, I can see now. Oh, it's all kicking off. If you had a dash cam, there'd be a few thousand views. Yeah, anyway, but he was alright. But yeah, I would recommend, well, as a responsible adult, I should say, disconnect the battery. I've heard some people say that it's not necessary. I'm not going to say that. Do what you're comfortable with, and add a little bit of safety. Some people are comfortable with being reckless, you know. Anyway, whatever. I'm just blabbing on. The sun is going down. It did rain. He got wet. I got wet because I was standing outside being interviewed about what I felt was going to happen to the world now. I'm just happy to have got my light fixed. My imagination's doing funny things with it at the moment. I'm thinking that it's a bit more yellow than last one was and all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh dear me, ain't got enough to do, you know. So, but it's done, and there it is. So, short answer: how do you change a Xenon bulb on a 2007 to 2009? In actual fact, any E70. Allegedly disconnect the battery, but let's say at least lights into zero, key just out of the ignition, just don't be having anything on. Get in there, up there, sort of behind the headlight, behind the wing, under the wheel arch, well, not under the wheel arch, on top of the wheel arch liner, but from under the bonnet. Clip the lug on the top, pull the cover back. There's two little lugs underneath that comes out. Then you got on the pre-LCIs, pre-facelift, you got it's literally shaped like that. So the spring, I think it attaches there at the bottom, and at the top you just widen it out of the way, pull the bulb out, disconnect it. Maybe you have to disconnect it first if the cable's not that long. And a good old cop out, refitting is reversal of the procedure. So stick the bulb in, good luck with that when you can't see. Put the clips in, ditto. Put the cable in, ditto, double ditto with honours. And then for putting the cap on, make sure that and I should probably check this because it is raining, you don't want water getting up in there, but make sure that two little lugs sit in on the cap, push it forward. You might need to pull the clip up like when you were releasing it, just to get it to snap into place. I've just realised I was about to go into ULEZ stuff because I'm chatting away and it's such a habit, having lived here for 26 years. I don't want to do that. £12.50 just to go and get a free coffee from Waitrose. But I can park in the loading bay because it's a Sunday, so there we go. So yeah, so that's what you do. Make sure the lugs are in at the bottom, and then you should be able to get the top one to just... I thought I went on the curb, obviously I didn't. Anyway, so yeah, if the top doesn't clip in, just make sure you've got the two bottom lugs in there, sort of holder where they sit, and then you should feel a little bit of resistance as you try to get the back sort of flat. And then if you can't, just push it and hear a nice satisfying little click as the lug sort of grips, just push the lug down like when you released it, which pushes the other end up so it just can get over its little pin that it's got to clip over, you know. And then when you do that, you should hear it sort of clip. If you're feeling brave, just have a little rattle around with it, make sure it isn't loose in any way, because like I say, the thing is, if water gets in there, you don't want that. So that's how you do it in words, and it's hard to show you in pictures, because it's difficult to film it while you were doing it. I took a picture of the guy doing it, but honestly, there was nothing to see. His arm, you know, was up to here, and his arm was disappeared. So that's that. I hope it's a help in some way. And in my case, putting it comically, if you like, that's how you do it. You have a little go at what I've just said, bail out, take it to someone you could trust. I mean, trust as in who's man enough to do the job, as well as not going to treat you like he's woman for doing it. So there it is. I should be doing more, shouldn't I? But I'm glad I didn't, because it just, I would have been going back there for him to do the other one, because I just, meh. I always remember from my days messing around with cars, thinking how much easier it was to work on a house. You know, somebody would want me to, all right, I was probably just doing silly little labour things. Somebody wants a few days help on a job or something, and you go and you strip them some tiles off or whatever. But you normally get access to most things. Although if you've seen my changing the plug socket to have the USB-A and USB-C charging outlets in it, I can even make that a drama. Anyway, I've given myself some editing to do now because I've waffled on. The long version will probably go up first, and I'll chop it down to something useful at a later date. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, because I'm me and I want you to. Say something nice in the comments about someone. If you can't say something nice about me, say it about someone else. And take care, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. I hope this helped in some way, on some level. It helped me. Look at me, I'm happy. I spent a tenner, but I've got a light bulb. Happy days. Cheers, guys. Bye. Yes, I was technically still partially on top of the curb. Anyway, handled now. Cheers. Bye. Brighter to you? Oh, it's full of brighter than that one. Do I need to warm up? Don't know. We'll see.